my work is essentially a campaign, like a body hug campaign, to do with physical identity, to kind of reconnect us, like the mind-body divide, so reconnecting the mind with the body, as we spend so much time in our heads from too much social media, too much time online. So the lines of the work that I create, they're disconnected, quite abstract, to kind of push or kind of encourage this idea that we're completely not in touch with our bodies. So a lot of it is very autonomous, the stuff that what I create. Sometimes it goes wrong, and I mean, what does help is the amount of lines that I put on the canvas. And if I get it wrong, I just keep on adding lines in, see what happens. And I will exaggerate lines as well. I think the figurative element of the work is essentially laid onto, or the abstract part of the work is laid onto the figurative side. So this bit is where I tend to spend a long time looking at the canvas, because it takes a lot of balls to put paint on the canvas, and why and how I ended up putting paint on the canvas was I had one canvas that I didn't like the look of, and in terms of what I'd done with the oil pastel. So I took a huge swab of black paint on a paintbrush and put two massive black lines on this yellow canvas, which then became one of my favourite pieces of work. So, and what I was trying to do with it, and this is what has now become part of the formula for the work at the moment, is to essentially repeat and magnify lines that are already there. So the lines that are, say this line here, will probably be magnified somewhere else on the canvas. And again, that's really about promoting the repetition of the line, but also highlighting how it feels to be in the body. So I'm trying to repeat, like, the way you look at a line on a body, or how you feel when you look at the line of your body and how you feel in your body, as a way to kind of, again, reconnect us with our physical selves. I think the big problem with us all spending so much time in our heads and working, and especially in the Western world, is we lose track of the other, like 90% of us, which is everything below our head. So I'm looking at two things, I guess. Now I'm looking at this line here in order to repeat it, so it becomes a completely separate line, aside from what I'm looking at, aside from looking at the model. And it's kind of scary to do. And using this fabric paint is amazing. Working on these types of material, this is wetsuit fabric, is just so much nicer than painting on canvas. That's going to go.
Oh, that's
Do you see what I mean?
yeah.
So I take some sort of line and then I'll repeat it.
That's nice.
And then I'll work out another. I think I'll probably put another colour on. So this line is mimicking this one here. And again, quite broken, but sort of working. The current lines of oil pastel and fabric, but they kind of work separately as well, and they really, because they're so straight, they really inform the kind of awkwardness of the kind of, you know, they break up, they kind of annoy me, and I kind of think, if they annoy me, then I've kind of done a good job, because that's the whole point about this kind of body hunt campaign, is to promote the fact that we are all feeling a bit awkward with our bodies. We're not really in touch with them, and I think it kind of adds to this whole, it adds to the figurative element of the art, and they also become abstract forms in their own right, but with a backdrop of a figurative artwork. And again, these kind of, it's very autonomous, it's not planned. I just stitch and see what happens. And this element of it is probably more therapeutic, I think, than the other bits.